unicorns are real. And Unicorn Hunters is back bigger and bolder.
Can investors make money on this?
We research and identify potential unicorns.
That was the most inspiring pitch I've heard yet on the show.
You hear the pitches?
I can see the future through artificial intelligence.
Then our Unicorn Hunters will stress test them.
You mentioned that farmers are not trustful. Investors, they're probably even less trustful.
Oh.
You can predict the future. All I want to know is in 5 years, do I have hair and am I skinny?
You are thinking big, you are thinking differently, you dare to be disruptive, and I commend you for that.
She's that brilliant. I think she could be the next Elon Musk.
It's so crazy, it might just work.
Something's still wrong about the math here. How are you going to get to $20 million?
When the former United States Treasurer tells you have a math problem?
I think the mission is powerful. I'm not worried that he can't do it. I'm worried that he came here too soon.
I see that your sales projections are $100 million within the next 3 years.
In investing, you either bet on the horse or you bet on the jockey. So what do you do if this does not work?
One thing I am is stubborn. I don't just give up.
Impress our experts and it's a game changer.
I believe in you, so I'm a yes.
Yes, yes, and yes.
With revolutionary companies.
What if you had a solution that enabled you to see where your next risk is likely to materialize?
The way that we treat pain, it's just outdated.
We've only got 5 years to save the planet. What are we going to do?
I'm going to give happiness a run for the money so you can realize your best self and a better world.
Cross-examinations by celebrity guests.
I think this company could be a real knockout. We have to see.
Everyday world investors join the hunt, live in the audience.
Should we be afraid of your AI?
And the opportunity to get additional funding of up to 10 million unicorns. The official equity-backed cryptocurrency of Unicorn Hunters. Time to meet the next Elon Musk. Join the hunt for the next unicorn.
I'm super thrilled and excited to be here.
Hello, my name is Margaret Kocherga. I'm a founder and CEO of Margin.
Unicorn Hunters has great amount of connections and opportunities that are absolutely essential for early stage startups. My friend Katie from Grocery Shoppe was participating in the first season.
I'm Katie Holtz, the founder and CEO of Grocery Shoppe.
You did a great job, Katie.
Thank you so much.
We come from the same entrepreneurial community. I decided to reach out to her and give her a call. Hey, Katie, I'm about to go on stage. From your experience, Katie, what happened to Grocery Shoppe after Unicorn Hunters?
Unicorn Hunters was just a huge boost for our awareness. We've had great luck since then. We close a new grocer every week.
Katie, you really paved the way for me. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I'm so excited for you, Margaret. I'm busting with pride.
Talk to you later. I am just ready to go and hoping to get as many people as I can on board.
The trilingual and multi-talented Margaret Kocherga earned a PhD in nanoscale science when she was just 25. Originally a professional dancer with Kiev National Ballet, she immigrated from Ukraine at 15 to perform with the Charlotte Ballet, but a torn ACL ended her dreams.
So I had to carve out my own future and my own path to success.
She picked herself up, studied organic chemistry at community college, and as a student at UNC, won a place in the coveted Charlotte Research Scholar undergraduate experience. Countless awards followed as she intertwined her passion from science, business development, and community service, resulting in the formation of her company in 2019.
When it comes to my dreams, I have always been persistent in pursuing them.
A fierce advocate for women in the field of science, she is on a mission to create a brighter, cleaner planet. And an endorsement from the Circle of Money will get her there. Now is her time to shine.
Inhale on the way in and exhale on the way out.
Oh, no.
We need investments for sure, and that's why we're here to reach the global community. Wish me luck. everybody. My name is Margaret Kocherga, and I'm a founder and CEO of Margic, and also inventor of the core technology of the company, a technology we all need. I'm going to show you this LED bulb, and obviously I didn't invent this bulb. We all know it pretty well. But LEDs are all around us. They're in lighting, they're in your displays of cell phones, TVs, computers, and all sorts of other things. But this is causing a lot of harm. And the reason for that is your standard LED bulb, currently made with rare, scarce, and heavy toxic elements. LEDs permanently damage your eyes. They also cause fatigue. And when they're laying around in a landfill, they poison our soil and our water. The current LED displays and lighting also cause over 2 million tons of CO2 emissions a year, which is equivalent of 500,000 cars driving, not a small bit. So Margic had emerged to address the need for the sustainable, cost-effective organic LEDs. Our technology is capable of reducing the greenhouse emissions by 60% and also accelerate the manufacturing of the OLED devices by 80%. Our technology is made exclusively from earth-abundant and organic materials. This is one of the organic materials here, nice and shiny. And this solution is the most effective for large panels, such as light-up panels in the room, the cars, large display TVs, laptops, and so forth, which is a $1 trillion industry. Margic is going to work together with company Nuru to bring to market first branding light-up products. What this will enable us to do is to simply light up your brand at first. I touch it and it lights up, but we also have different ones where besides the touch we can do motion sensor or temperature sensor or anything else the brands would want. Branding lighting products will enable us to reach $15 million revenue by year 2025. Also, by expanding into global display and lighting market, we'll be able to reach a unicorn status by year 2028. Now, USA is facing a very important pivotal point right now. We are in need of geopolitically independent manufacturing, and we need to do so in sustainable fashion, cost effectively, and as many devices as we can produce with just as great of quality of life as we can. And Margic had found a way to make it possible right here in the United States. We just need a little bit of your help, your advice and knowledge and experience of getting from a small scale to global market, as well as we're looking for a $3 million investment to scale up our processes that we have already tested out on a small scale. Margic means loving change, and if you would like to light up the world and make a change with us, please join us.
Coming up,
Margaret, can you illuminate me for a second?
The unicorn grilling.
I want to know what your cost is and then what your margin is.
I don't necessarily have a direct business background.
I'm trying to get to the bottom line here.
There is always a risk of explosion.
Holy moly, I didn't realize that.
Unicorn, the cryptocurrency of the future. To learn how to invest, go to unicoin.com.
Now, I'm sure you are eager to ask all of your questions, but before we do that, let me pass around these very interesting business cards. You can mess with them, bend them, but wait just a second. So I'm going to pass them out. You can look at them. There's no trick. There's no illusion here. There's nothing like that. These are all real organic materials. And right now, these cards are made to be recyclable. And in the future, we're also looking at making them biodegradable. So it will take us about a year to get there. Now, on the front face of the card, on the black side where the logo is, In the right corner, there's a touch sense button. If you touch it, it will light up in your hand.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Look
So
at
this
that.
is a touch
So
sensing
cool.
technology.
That's very cool.
It really is.
If you bend them, I don't suggest you bending it in half yet, but they're flexible. If you sit on it, nothing bad is going to happen to it. That just demonstrates how thin and light this technology really is.
Thank you so much, Margaret. That was amazing. I'm a yes. I know we're not there yet, but I'm a yes. I am. But I do have a couple of questions. I'm trying to get to the bottom line here. So I love this concept with the bottle. What is your wholesale cost to do that on one bottle? I know you're going to scale, but I want to know what your cost is and then what your margin is.
So right now, these labels, they're sticker labels, so they can be placed on packages. It doesn't necessarily have to be a bottle. We're planning to sell them for $50. Our margin on that is 80%.
$50 per label?
Per label. So as of now, at the small scale, up to 10,000 quantities. That's our market. So we're looking at luxury applications as well as pharmaceutical applications where the cost of losing something is much more than that label.
What does it cost you to make that?
It is right now for a label, $11.
Okay, so you've got pretty great margins. Does the existing infrastructure of the LEDs that are being currently manufactured allow for you to simply come in and plug and play your technology, or would it require a re-envisioning of how the process of these LEDs are made? Because as you said, these LEDs are ubiquitous, they're everywhere.
When we were doing a customer discovery, that came up a lot actually. What we heard was the manufacturing equipment had progressed, but everything that currently is on the market doesn't work with that new equipment. And that's exactly where we come in because our materials, they can be moldable and altered per manufacturer needs at a scale. That's one benefit of it. Second benefit, we have already had a go-ahead from some of the largest lighting manufacturers in the industry that this can be used seamlessly, plug and play, nothing else needed from the manufacturer standpoint.
A licensing play is something you'd be interested in working with one of the big boys?
Ultimately, we want to be selling to these larger manufacturers indeed.
How bad are existing LEDs for the environment anyway?
So we did analysis of what if we were to replace every single consumer electronic display with an organic LED. So organic LEDs are known to reduce your typical light LED emissions by 60%.
60%.
At a minimum. We did a projection that if we do it by slowly replacing LEDs by year 2050, complete replacement, we'll reduce over 8 gigatons worth of CO2 emissions. We'll reduce them.
Margaret, I have a question. What inspires you? I would love to learn more about you. And do you have a business background?
I don't necessarily have a direct business background. I fresh out of grad school started this. I happened to receive a PhD in July of 2020.
Which is very impressive, by the way.
Not like there was a whole lot to do anyway, and
I might as well get a PhD. I thought about it, but I was a little tired. Yeah.
And people were not only not hiring, they were letting people go.
Right.
So I decided, you know what, screw everyone, I'm gonna hire myself. And thank you. But it didn't come out of nowhere, right? Things don't just magically occur, I wish, and that's how life worked. So my background is scientific background. I am the inventor of the technology that is being used as the core technology we started with. People look at me, oh, you have a PhD, you're a lab person, and I actually don't do any lab work sadly anymore. I miss it, I love it, but solving challenges is in my blood. I'm an immigrant, came here not knowing any English, not really understanding what is happening, and really trying to bootstrap myself to figure out what's going on.
And Margaret, where did you immigrate from?
Ukraine.
Oh my.
Margaret, we extend our heartfelt thoughts to the people of your home country.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I would be remiss if we did not let you know that we love the Ukrainian people and we're thinking of them.
Margaret, we will stop grilling you for a second because we have investors from all over the world who may have questions for you, and I will throw this now to the audience.
So the world is going towards more handheld, small, compact devices. Do you see your technology being able to get manufactured in a smaller, more handheld device?
We're not planning to make a cell phone. Instead, would prefer to sell it to somebody who does. And this technology can be used. Our materials are completely usable in that sense. And that's exactly the strategy we're going with. So we're being very attentive about what the market needs are. And many of you are probably seeing the clamshells come back. My ladies probably would want one that doesn't take up your entire bag, right? Or your entire pocket with that cell phone display being out there. So organic LEDs do enable that foldability factor, that rollable, that flexible. So yes, it definitely would be very useful for small scale devices too.
Margaret, can you illuminate me for a second? Ha ha! I know, dad joke. All right, let's get serious. Can you show me this light bulb again? And would you mind talking a little bit about what's going on here?
So this is your classic LED bulb.
Okay.
It is bulky. It can only be encapsulated in glass. Yeah, glass is nice, you can kind of recycle, but recycling what's inside of this bulb is very difficult. For light bulbs, it's okay, but when we're talking about your lovely screens, the phones, and so forth, it's actually dangerous for the workers. There is always a risk of explosion in their hands to try to even attempt to scavenge something. So what ends up happening, there is all of these cell phones laying around on a landfill. It is actually the largest waste stream we have in the planet. 70% of all waste, 70% of all waste is electronic devices.
Holy moly, I didn't realize that.
And only 30% of them are being recycled. So what we're trying to do is say, let's not even do this. Let's just stop. We can do better, and let's solve the problem up front. Let's not just worry only about recycling. Let's try to actually shift altogether.
When did you develop the patent? If the patent belongs to you or to any of the development partners?
Coming up, the grilling continues.
How do you plan to mobilize physical production of any level of scale?
And the panel puts Margaret on the hot seat.
I'm a little troubled.
Do you just expect me to fail? I don't just give up.
When did you develop the patent?
So the original patents that we have are from university. I'm a co-inventor on the patent itself. So we have currently option to exclusive licensing agreement. We'll own full rights for everything that is in that patent. And upon execution, we'll have full license. And I filed with my company International Opportunities. So we have these patents working in United States, Canada, South Korea, China, Japan. So all the common areas where this technology is typically used or employed or sold.
Excellent.
Remember, Margaret, we have a global audience of investors from all over the world, from all walks of life. If you want to take a look at the screen, we have a question from someone you just may recognize.
Margaret, great pitch, but I have a question for you. Is it hard being a female CEO in the science field?
When I started back in 2019, engaging in this industry and trying to get everything started, I met obviously many people. And in 2021, I was coming back to some of these connections. One of the people that greeted me on the Zoom call started with, "You're still around, huh?" And I don't know if I should be offended or complimented. Do you just expect me to fail? Do you expect me to give up? That's something I do have in me, that I don't just give up, simply. If I see a potential, a way of getting something done, and it's a matter of how it gets done, right? And this is exactly what startup life is. It's a matter of you see a potential, you see a fit, you are the one as a CEO to figure out how you're going to get this done. It's not really my job to make this card and put it on market altogether, right? That would be stupid. I can't do this alone. Instead, I need to gather all the people, put them in the right mindset on the same page as me, and get it moving. So that's my only, what I have learned, and definitely doesn't encourage me to give up, for sure. I'm not the kind of person. Thank you for the question.
Hey, great answer, Margaret. Just good luck.
How do you plan to tackle the consumers, the C-Gen, the ones that are going to choose products that are organic versus products that are contaminating and damaging to the environment?
Thankfully enough, we don't have to educate a customer. That's always the worst case scenario, when you have to teach a customer that they have a problem, right? Instead, they're coming to us. They're saying, yes, this technology works great for us, but we're having so many problems with it. I'm sure many of you have seen a wonderful yellow filter on your display. Everything looks yellow, you can't read anything no more, right? Is that harmful blue light emission of the traditional LED. Organic LED are designed without that toxic emission. So your traditional LED TV has a constant back panel that is always lit. And you always have different colors kind of filtered on top of it. For organic LED display, everything is off actually, and only the colors and pixels you need light up. So it reduces stress on your eye, it improves resolution, and we completely mitigate that problematic UV light that inflames our retina and causes the cell damage.
Can you educate us on right now, like who are the leaders? Who's the competition? Like who do you have to take out? And what is their market share?
Let's be clear, take out in football terms means just tackling somebody, okay?
No, we're gonna take them out. It is a tough space. It is a very challenging space because the main giants in this space are LG Display and Samsung, right? We can't take them down, we won't take them down, and they can fight each other all day long. What we're gonna do instead is cater them, right? So we are a technology that can go along with what they're using and how they're trying to beat the competition and provide that technology. These industries are actively looking for novel solutions. They're very open and they have been very, very communicative with us since day one, testing every new product that comes out from a lab. They're incorporating, giving us feedback, getting it all ready to go. And that would settle our leverage to then pursue the giants and sell to them.
I'm a little troubled. Samsung's not developing this same technology?
They are, but they're also purchasing from third parties. And they have been, and they always will. And no large manufacturer will work with only one provider. If one facility for some reason goes out, they can't afford to stop their production.
Are you in communication already with Samsung about being a supplier?
Not exactly supplier, we have done customer discovery about what needs to be done to become one, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with LG Display. We had similar conversations about what will it take for us to be a supplier, or is it worth it? Should we just license the technology to you? Mm-hmm. We bring diversity to their portfolio. That's why I said I'm not so worried about that factor necessarily, because we were described that that's what they want. They want supplier diversity.
Margaret, to get to unicorn status by 2028, how do you plan to mobilize physical production of any level of scale?
Yes, so right now we're at a scale to scale up the small unit production because it is relevant. It's the same process of doing it that way. We have to prove that this works on a small scale. Only then they're willing to take that leap of faith and take it on.
Margaret, don't you think that adding $50 to the cost of a bottle of packaging would rule out so many brands of drinks, only probably the most expensive ones?
Yes, we are targeting right now only luxury brands. They're already paying that money. They're paying money for engravements, special custom bottles. They're trying to do some other fancy stuff. This is not going to be different for them. So that's why it's going to be the easiest way for us to enter. That is our strategy, to go with the luxury brand and go with industries that can afford this, or already paying that premium anyway. We're just offering them a better solution.
How long does it last?
This ran for 1,500 cycles with no light reduction, because these are meant to be functioning on, off, on, off. I try to just press it on and hold it as long as I can. It worked for 6 hours straight with no light reduction at all, and then about 2.5 days until it died off.
Margaret, I just have a personal curiosity. What made you or your family move from Ukraine to the United States?
My father worked for a company in Ukraine, the same company that had offices all over the world. It was a logistics company. And he was so much away from the family, traveling back and forth, that we pulled the trigger and decided to move. Coming here was definitely a shock. I didn't speak the language, didn't know anybody. It was very different, difficult. So I do know what means starting from nothing. So losing something to me is like, oh, just another chance. I still breathe, I still walk, I still live. I can start all over again. So that's the one thing all immigrants really share, is coming with nothing and starting all over.
Margaret, thank you so much for the tremendous job. There's a lot to chew on here, so we're going to let you catch your breath, and we'll see you in a few.
Thank you so much. Thank you. After I finished my 2 minutes, I already had one yes. So I think that's a great sign. My goal is to get everybody on board, right? Otherwise, why come here?
Coming up, the panel decides if Margaret has what it takes to be a unicorn.
She has a lot of strengths, but there are some weaknesses.
Unicorn, next generation cryptocurrency designed to be equity-backed and dividend-paying. To solidify your investment, go to unicoin.com.
All right, guys, should we get into it?
I mean, it's really impressive to think that she's so young and so driven.
I personally think she redefines poise, combined with a brilliance, in my opinion, maybe the most brilliant person we've seen come into the circle of money.
Yeah, her maturity is quite impressive. You know, there's that it factor that you always hear about. You know, she had me at hello. She did.
No, she really did, Rosie. I've never seen that before from you. You were really in.
Look, I think her business plan needs some work. I think the strategy needs some work. I think her team needs some work. But again, this is one of those rare times where I'm going to invest in the person.
The issue of producing materials that are more eco-friendly is like a massive demand for that. And obviously the market is gigantic for many different uses. So I really like it. I think the path is still blurry because it's very, very early stage.
Yeah.
But when I see someone like her, I kind of love this womenkind world domination thing going on.
I completely agree. As an entrepreneur, it'll be about, who she surrounds herself with, because you don't know everything, right? And so you have to surround yourself, as we all know, with those who know the things that you don't know, and then deploying that capital the right way. So it'll be interesting, but I'm inspired by it.
I'm still shocked from Rosie's reaction. Normally, Rosie, you are hardest one to convince.
I don't know what they're talking about.
Normally, you go through all the numbers. The old you, would have said, she admits that she is not the only company pursuing these results, and that's why I was so surprised that we are all reacting to obvious strengths without analyzing business model as deeply as we would have otherwise.
Are we candy coating the weaknesses?
Well, I have some questions.
Let me put it this way. If it were me presenting, you'd be harsher on me.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Well, first of all, you're not her. Well, I want to just start right there. I'm saying that nicely. But no, again.
The old Rosie's back.
No, again, look, I mean, she has grit. She has an instinct. She has an ability to overcome. You can't put a figure on that. You just can't. Sometimes you just got to feel it.
Yeah, I'll use a sports analogy. No one is a perfect player. Every player has weaknesses and strengths. And I could see, through listening to our esteemed panel, She has a lot of strengths that you guys have pointed out, but there are some weaknesses as far as advertising on bottles and things like that. I believe there's a huge opportunity there, but no manufacturer is going to afford to put $50 on top of
No, they're not.
What that price tag that they already have. So, yes, she does have strengths. So I do believe with the cash influx, a protection to allow her to do the things, because I don't believe she's capable of pulling off the marketing, which needs to be done, and some of the other things. But I do believe that she's a unique talent.
And she seemed open to that. I mean, I think by her own admission, she wants more minds in the room. She wants to build her team of advisors. So I think you're absolutely right.
I'm really troubled by the strategy of taking this to market. I don't think going on tequila bottles is going to make you a unicorn. Love, love, love Margaret. Believe in her, but some challenges lie ahead.
I agree.
It's a good point.
Well, Mo, with your approval, I would love to be able to bring Margaret back.
Approved.
Let's bring her back.
Margaret, your presentation was quite remarkable. In order to give an opportunity for investors to understand the whole value proposition of your investment opportunity, can you summarize it in 60 seconds or less?
Challenge accepted. So our licensed patents is not the only thing that we're doing with the universities and a national lab. We're also creating our own IP. So don't worry about that. We're growing, we're adding on technologies and all of that. We also have 6 letters of support from global manufacturers that are supporting our technology already. We have 2 purchase orders waiting in line for us that are worth $100 million already. That is how I'm putting those timelines to be so soon, because we are working on those global scaled up solutions right now, and we can secure it by 2028. Now, our choice of going to these labels was a deliberate decision. The reason for that was because we were stuck without a progress of trying to scale up at the same time, accommodate the needs of manufacturers, and not go out of business tomorrow. So we're gonna earn revenue, and the price point is set by the customer. They are willing to pay this.
That's fine. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Coming up,
listen, I'm conflicted.
Will Margaret get 7 yeses and win 10 million unicorns?
The time has come for us to make our final decision. And so let's start with the indomitable Chris Diamantopoulos.
Margaret, thank you so much for your time, and thanks for an excellent presentation. You answered our questions with authority, and you've presented something bigger than this stage. I am blessed by having around me powerful women. If my daughters could look at someone like you as an example of how you just put your head down and do the good work, I'd be a really, really lucky man. So it's a yes for me.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I much appreciate it. Thank you.
I like what you're doing. As Margaret Thatcher once said, that when something done, ask a woman. And I know where you come from, but I don't buy the small label strategy, and it will perhaps keep you away from developing the opportunity to scale up fast enough. So my vote is for you, total yes. For the immediate opportunity with the unicorn vote is a no.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Margaret, I learned so much today. What you're creating is tremendous. Obviously, it's going to be very hard to go from bottle lights to lighting airports and sound studios and hotels and the like, but you showed an openness to surrounding yourself and bringing people into your business that could mentor you, support you, advise you. I think that's going to be the key to your success. from an investment standpoint, I'm a no. But I'm happy to support you and advise you and help you take the next step to the extent I can.
Thank you. Thank you.
Margaret, yes, yes, and yes. Yes to the unicorns. Yes to my personal investment, and yes to my counsel. Obviously, you have your challenges ahead of you. But you are a bright light from the pandemic. You are a person of talent, you are a person of change, and you are a person of courage. And that is what the world needs more of today. It needs real courage.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Listen, I'm conflicted. I'm worried that you're not focused there. I think your challenges are daunting. But you know what I learned the last hour? If anybody on this earth can overcome them, it's you. I'm a yes, all the way.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
That makes it 3 yeses and 2 nos. And now to you.
Well, that's a setup.
Margaret, I was born in Russia. 8 years ago, Russia started an unprovoked war against Ukraine. This year, it turned out in a full-fledged war, the largest war since the Second World War. If you Google my name and name of Putin, you see I put bounty on his head. I don't fool myself, but I subscribe to the viewpoint that if all of us do a little, it can amount to something. So I'm going to give you my plain, not eliminated card. And maybe it will provide to be of some value. You admitted yourself you have competitors. You cannot be assured that you can overcome that competition, etc. But I see in you determination and skills to achieve success nonetheless. So I'm firmly yes.
When I was playing football, which I did professionally for a long, long time, the most disappointing day of my career was one day a coach brought me in and he cut me from the team. And he told me he couldn't depend on me, but he also told me some facts that were true about my game. But I looked at him and told him that he wasn't going to be right. So I hope that your story is a lot like mine, that the people that decide to say no, that they're not right about you. Anytime I personally have an opportunity to be able to invest in people, I try to make that a positive experience. You also represent a product that there is a need for. And so, for me, I'm in. I'm a yes.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
Wait. I have something to say.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I reflected a bit. You know, I have a strong bias towards women entrepreneurs. So I many times have to say, like, am I doing this because she's a woman entrepreneur, or am I doing this because I believe in the business? And I tend to believe more in the people because people can change business models and can make things happen. So first, I want to apologize for giving you a no. And second, I want to say that I vote yes.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
Oh, here we go.
You didn't sway me.
Buyer's remorse.
So, I'm a yes. This needs to be a green light. Green light.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I will not let you down.
7 yeses.
Margaret, let me quickly summarize what you have received. Unicorn is the official currency of unicorn hunters. The value of 10 million unicorns which you are going to receive.
Did you just say she won 10 million unicorns today?
Correct.
10 million unicorns.
He did. Comprehension not here.
Margaret, congratulations again. Our first golden unicorn.
It is still a shock I came to be a golden unicorn. I'll definitely remember this moment here and that personal connection that was made. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I won't let you down. I won't let you down. Thank you so much for your support. You are a first guest. Thank you so much. Business is business, but it's not separated from the human factor as well. I think it's important to remember that we're not here just to make money, but also improve people's lives. If I help somebody to succeed in life by just sharing my story, I feel like my life is successful. What just happened?
You know what just happened. You're brilliant. That's what happened.
The win for me personally today is a win for the planet of tomorrow.